Alrighty, let's do end of the year message for 2022, okay, and incoming 2023. So I feel it's going to be a very incredible year. I think there's going to be major challenges in terms of changing either jobs or property, homes, living places, right? Apartment or a house. And so I think there's going to be major changes in that. I think there's going to be tower moments in that, but I think that the tower moment is going to bring in an incredible abundant life. So while you're going through that, just remember that it's part of the transition that is needed for you to acquire this extraordinary abundant life in terms of money, wealth, health, prosperity, and love, okay, and huge partnerships. And if you're an entrepreneur and you have your own business, like, your business is going to grow exponentially, okay? So closing out cycles that have been very difficult this year, okay, but I think you were ready. I think you were in a specific cycle or pattern with a specific person that was very unhealthy. I think there was some possibility of reconnection this last year, but I think it just didn't work out. I think the person wasn't in the appropriate mindset, and I think you finally put up your boundaries and said enough is enough, and I think you walked away. And I think it's the best thing that could have happened to you, because that's propelling for your fate and your destiny to continue and progress. And sometimes things don't work out with a soulmate. I don't believe in twin flames, but if you pertain to that thought process, then that's what it is, right? And so I believe there's soulmates. I don't believe in twin flames, because I don't think that we are half. I think we are whole. That's what esotericism always teaches us, and we're here to ascend, and we're here to ascend as a soul, right? And through this vessel of body in this lifetime, and it is through the 3D that we ascend, because it's the experience, it's the tangible experiences, right? And the tangible experiences propel our esoteric, our spiritual, our soul, right? Whatever it is that we can't see, it's what expands it, okay? And so it is going through those very trying or very glorious and exciting and beautiful moments. That grief, that anxiety is just an overwhelming of emotions that really gets us to the next level of of a spirituality, and that's when we ascend. So that's why I don't believe in twin flames. You don't need anybody, especially not somebody else that's intimate with you, to fill you and be whole, okay? As you all know, there's a lot of monks and a lot of celibacy. So celibacy brings in a huge ascension. So it doesn't make sense to be pursuing your better half when your better half is the ascended half, okay? And it's coming. We're whole. We don't need another person. But anyway, if you subscribe to that and twin flame journey, then that's great. Whatever helps you and whatever it is that you believe will help you down your path and your journey. And there's no right or wrong answer. They're just different beliefs based on whatever it is that you've lived, and based on whatever it is that you have in terms of hierarchy or beliefs in terms of spirituality or religion or whatever, okay? So anyway, back to that. So I think that there was a very trying relationship that really dragged you for a significant amount of time, probably like 3 or 4 or maybe 5 years. And I think that this last year there was an option or a possibility of growing, and coming together. But I think that person, whether it be male or female, just didn't get it together. And I think that they really at that point crossed your boundaries. And I think that that's when you finally realized that you were worth much more. And so that has brought in a huge abundance and a huge ascension. And I think you've closed out that chapter, and I think you closed it up on your terms, which was very significant for you to be able to move on. And I think it was a gift of God, source, energy, light, your angels, your archangels, your past loved ones. I think they gave you an opportunity, okay, that didn't go the way you thought it would be, but it was an absolutely brilliant, incredible opportunity that now you can palpitate, right? Like you can, lo puedes palpar, like you can taste it, and you can understand the significance of that opportunity, even though it was such a nasty process or experience that you went through with this person. There was such an incredible humiliation that with that humiliation, you finally created boundaries and brought your power and brought in your self-respect. And so with that, that brings in huge changes. 5:05 on the clock, and so it brought in some closure, and it brought you the ability to see the opportunities that have always been around you, that are possibly better opportunities and better options, but you were so like stubborn about this past person that you couldn't see past that. Okay, so I think that was the closing of the cycle. That was significant. I think there's going to be a huge ascension. I think you're going to have a lot of travel. I think you're going to have a lot of opportunities. I think that your community, in terms of spirituality, work, friendship, family, is going to be much more genuine, and is going to be much more powerful, and is going to be much more supportive. I think you're going to be very well established financially. I think you're going to reach pinnacles that you never thought possible. I think there's going to be huge amounts of money coming in if you own your own business. I think you'll be hitting the $1 million mark. If you already have $1 million, probably 2 or 3, or maybe going into 5 or 6 based on some inheritance or some major windfall that sort of, what is the sequence of events, right, will bring in. If you're not there yet, I think you're going to get maybe 100,000. As I read one time with this billionaire or whatever, and he said the hardest, your first 100,000 is the hardest, and that's absolutely right. Your first 100,000 is like an impossibility, but after you've made your first 100,000, then the other 100,000s come in, and then once you've made your million, then the other millions have come in because you figured out what to do. And remember that wealth and prosperity and money is specific to you. So pick and choose whatever it is that you want from people that are sort of saying that. And usually millionaires don't come out and tell you, this is how I make money, unless they're being very well interviewed. So all those influencers that, how did you make money, or this is how I made money, I don't know. I would be cautious to really pay attention to the way they made money. Everybody makes money differently. So be mindful of that. There isn't a set way. It's only specific to you and the way you carry yourself and the way you carry your business. Because as I tell my students, you are your own business, okay? So the biggest investment that you should be making is to yourself, whether it be in education, whether it be training, growth, spiritually, everything in mind, body, and spirit, okay? And so that's what brings in all the wealth. And it's not something that comes in quickly and fast, right? It's about, it's about day to day, step to step. It's about really working at it. And I remember reading this book on from good to great. It was the most extraordinary book. I think that's what it was called. And if it isn't, will you please comment below. It was the most extraordinary book for me on how to make wealth and what it took for these people, because now there's trillionaires and billionaires. But when I was growing up, being a millionaire was a huge thing, and there's hardly weren't any. So it talks about all the very, like Walgreens and all the institutions and companies that, that were sort of in the brink of a bankruptcy, and they brought it back. And so it talks about how every single step, every single position, every single work, every single change helps. And so when people say, oh, they became millionaires overnight, it really has not been the case. It's been a lot of work and effort that you put in. And it depends what you want, right? There's things that I would not do in order to make money. And so you have to define what that is, okay? And how it is that you're going to make your money, and how it is that you can look yourself in the mirror after you've created your money. So I think there's going to be huge abundance. I think that the people that you're collaborating with are going to be very significant. They're going to be very genuine. They're going to be very helpful, and they're going to be giving you opportunities that you've never seen before. And if you have really, struggled, and life has been really hard, I think it's going to ease up for you, and I think it's going to be a really good easy life from now on. I think you're going to pick and choose your battles. And I think that you've gone through a lot of things that you're going to be able to see red flags, both in romantic relationships as in any other relationships. And I think you're going to veer away from them. And I think you're going to be in a less, in relationships and collaborations and commitments that are less dramatic. And I think that that's going to create lots of positive energy. Okay. So so that was long. I don't know. Usually that's what my lectures are about. So if you like this, please make sure that you comment. I have a lot of insight. I've gone through a lot. People, sort of probably think that I, do fairly well or whatever. It's been a lifetime work. I think I'm 56. I forget. And so it's been a lifetime work. I mean, bottom line, it's been a lifetime of work, okay, and sacrifices and working 12 to 16 hours straight. There's been humiliations, there's been persecutions, but on the, positive side, I've also had extraordinary people that I've worked with, and I've also had extraordinary opportunities and extraordinary vision, okay, and ability to have, seize the opportunities that come towards. So if you like these lectures, let me know on the comments below. So act like a role model the younger are watching, right? And that's exactly what I was telling you. You need to decide what it is that you're willing to do in order to have the life that you so seek, okay? And and so, will you be able to be okay, right? And as I've seen a lot of influencers in that, I mean, finally somebody's came up with that, where it says the real flex is taking care of the ones you loved and taking care of the ones that took care of you and loved you, right? So your siblings, your mother, your father, all the sacrifices that they've done. And if you've had bad parents or bad siblings or whatever, there's been people that have been good to you, teachers, mentors, sometimes we have people that like out of the blue come in, help us, and then leave, right? That they were destined to come in. And so that's where that comes, okay? So much luck to you, and never give up, right? Absolutely. Occupation, and then we have thief here. So there's people that are stealing from you, whether it be energy, time, money, or ideas. So be mindful of that, okay? Or possibly you're in an environment where people are taking advantage of you and you're not really having boundaries, possibly with your family. So there's someone here, whether you be, there might be a mature woman that is in your energy that has high honors, or you might be the mature woman, or you might be in feminine energy about receiving. So there's high honors that will be coming to you, okay? And there will be a wealthy man. There's several men in your life, okay? Or there's several, yeah, wow. You got all the males. You have wealthy man, you have main male, you have official person, and you have mature man with mature woman. So you might be in a relationship here that might be mature. There might be a mature relationship that's coming. You might be going up in status, or this person is very well to do, okay, right here. You might have a different kind of suitors. If you're a male watching this could also be female energies, or these can be entrepreneurships and opportunities that are really coming in for you. This might be a banker or financing that's really coming in. So huge money. There might be also in these energies somebody that maybe isn't what they seem. They might look like they have really a lot of money or whatever, but they really don't, okay? Lots of stuff with having to work hard. And then there's definitely here that's very consistent, a false person, somebody that's like stealing from you, somebody that makes you work a lot, right? Or that's a lot of work, whether, it be financial or not. But there's great fortune to you coming in, privileged lady. There is going to be a house or a movement or changing of states, property. There might be some inheritance coming in as well, okay? You might also be moving, all right? And there is an acquisition of property. It looks like it's a house. I feel, even though the cards didn't come here, that there is several options that you have that you might be going into. I also feel that there is a higher commitment in terms of marriage, and also business partners that are coming in. But you're going to be very well established. I think you already are. And I think that this year will be sealing the deal. And I think that you're going to be very coveted, okay, whether you're a man or a female or a male. And I think you're going to be exceptionally coveted. Just be careful, because the higher you go, the more haters you have. But as that song goes, haters are going to hate, right? So lay low. My recommendation to you, as I have done, and it's only a recommendation, is that I've always laid low, like always, right? And in real estate in 2019, I got a CoStar award, and it was for the most leased properties, and nobody even knew that I did it. So it was very, very rewarding. Everybody was shocked. I don't know how many people knew, but I was shocked when I got the reward. So I don't know. So some of you might be beating your competition at a very high level, and so that might be coming in. There might also be major awards and accolades that you will be receiving, as well as trophies. Okay, there is opportunities for you, at least two. I think there's going to be more. This is in property. This is in partnership as well, and I think you're going to be super, super happy. There might be a Leo here involved, or you might have Leo in your chart. Okay, you will be cutting off possibly commitments that no longer serve you. Okay, this might also be like you're changing the way you see things in terms of esoteric, or terms of like spirituality, and you're going to be cutting that. I think you're going to be cutting everything that no longer serves you, and you're going to be cutting, belief systems, patterns, people that no longer serve you. I think you're also going to be going into relationships that are a lot more open, that have very different ideals, theories, thought processes, and I think that you're going to be cutting off a lot of conservatism that's been around your life. Okay, there will be major travel here. All right, you might also be moving, or you might have an extra house or summer home, or beach home, or I also feel like a ski resort or something like that. You have found the key to something that has been holding you hostage. Okay, and so this is also finding the key to some sort of heart proposal, or some sort of intimate relationship having to do with love. There's going to be huge prosperity here coming in. There's going to be lots of dates, lots of meetings, and it's been divine timing here. Okay, the next relationships that you come in, that you've been so much working towards, is having loyalty. And so just as you have been so loyal to the people around you, they will be loyal back to you. So I think it's something that you haven't experienced in the past, and I think that people have been very disloyal to you, and I think you're moving away from that. I think you're going to be meeting people, that are going to be very loyal, that keep their word, that are very moral and ethical as you are, and I think that that's going to be very shocking to you. So be mindful that you don't self-sabotage those relationships, because they're going to be too good to be true. And since your past experience has been about people backstabbing you, and people not keeping their word, or people just doing nasty, nasty, horrendous things to you, whether they be in business or in love, you're not going to be used to it. So level up. You've already leveled up. You've already shown who you are. You've set your boundaries, and you've set your standards high. And that's the kind of people that are coming towards you. Okay. So may this message help you in some way, shape, or form. If it does, I would love for you to, if you're not subscribed, to subscribe to my channel and help me, expand it to 1,000 is what we have in terms of a goal. If you're a subscriber, I can't thank you enough to have me, have subscribed. You will be getting some messages. My phone's off the hook or whatever, so you're going to be receiving lots of messages. Love and light.